You got into new investments at all or anything going that you?
Daytime fireworks. Not a big payoff.
Didn't work out, huh?
No.
Most comics make you laugh, then send you home. But George Carlin made you laugh, then have you realize the thing you just laughed at was actually destroying society.
Advertising sells you things you don't need and can't afford that are overpriced and don't work. And they do it by exploiting your fears and insecurities. And if you don't have any, they'll be glad to give you a few.
These are George Carlin's funniest moments of all time. Carlin loses faith in humanity with Conan.
The primaries that are going on right now.
Well, I never do any political humor. I never do any topical stuff. So the only place I get to talk about something like that is a place like here, you know, or in interviews and stuff. But you see, I like a guy like Buchanan interests me because I just want to see his neck explode. You know, it's the same reason I was fascinated with Mike Ditka as a coach. I say, why don't they just put an isolated camera on him, and sooner or later this vein is going to.
Carlin walks into Conan's cheerful late-night world and calmly drains any sort of optimism out of the room, hilariously. His wacky health problems.
But I've been feeling, you know, perky and well, and my health is good again.
You've never had any problems, have you?
Well, I had a big heart attack, but outside of that, no. Yeah,
But that was some time ago.
Yeah, that was going on 5 years now.
Did that scare you?
That scared me a lot, yeah. But what I did
That was a dumb question, wasn't it?
Yeah,
of course it scared you.
I stopped having them. I just...
No sense
no
in
more.
No sense in pushing it, yeah.
But lately it's little things. I'm getting little things that bother me. Like I had a ringing in my ear. I went to the doctor. They found a small bell.
George makes the body sound like a badly run machine with too many failing parts listing problems casually, while describing things most people would hide. Carlin says football players should use knives on Letterman.
Would you, are any other rule changes or any new sports that you would be interested in?
Well, I'd change a couple of rules just for interest, for entertainment value. In football, I think during the last quarter they should be able to use knives. Little thing, but it might pick up the ratings.
Yeah, yeah.
In soccer, I have a suggestion that one guy should have a motorcycle and be allowed to ride the ball into the goal. You'd still have a goalie, but it would be up to him to stop the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Little thing in baseball, I would have in the outfield 20 or 30 randomly placed mine shafts.
Carlin's football knife idea pushes a normal sports conversation into absurdity, taking the violence already built into football and exaggerating it just far enough. Stuff versus junk on The Tonight Show.
That's good. I don't have any opening announcements tonight, so I'll go right into my routine. I had kind of an interesting morning. This morning I ate at the usual place, the restaurant for the unclean. I had been eating over at the International House of Salt and Pepper, but don't like the selection. I noticed something this morning that had escaped me. There are people who like Raisin Bran without the raisins. And if you are one of these people, you know that in order to have it that way, you have to clean the Raisin Bran. That's right. You have to take either a desk drawer or...
This bit turned one ordinary word choice into a full comedy argument about human selfishness, explaining that people call their own belongings stuff while everyone else's belongings are junk. Carlin tells Johnny about being arrested for his 7 words. At good places, at bad places, at colleges, at religious colleges. And it's about the 7 words you can't say on television. Right. Which list I have amended since then. Folks have been reminding me of others. And,
their own little words that they have.
It's up to about 11 now. But the point is, it's a satirical look at language taboos.
Right.
And I use the words, of course.
Basically, the words are having to do with various, usually terms, euphemistic terms for sexual intercourse or certain objects or parts of the body, and et cetera. That's basically what it is. Which everybody uses, more or less. I shouldn't say everybody, then I'll probably get letters saying, we never use that language. Or we're endorsing it.
I told the policeman that night, our fighting men have used these words for years and years.
Carlin takes one of the most controversial moments of his career and tells it like a strange late-night story, making the police audience, law, and television standards all sound like parts of the same ridiculous system. The 1986 Tonight Show stand-up routine.
Last time, what did I have the last time was the breast of hyena, which was great.
This time they've got a new little gourmet section. I don't know if you're aware, but it's a gourmet section, and the maitre d' Ulrich was very nice. He gave me a little of everything. I had a little. First, I had the rack of weasel, very good. A piping hot bowl of wolf noodle soup. The loin of gopher was a little underdone. And then, of course, stir-fried mole, curried woodpecker, and topped it all off with some nice candied unicorn McNuggets.
Carlin's 1986 Carson routine shows him tightening everyday irritation into a smooth television set, walking out and making normal behavior sound suspicious, silly, and badly designed. Carlin has Carson busting up.
Because it's not an NBC show, or it's not a movie. They show movie clips.
Well, that can't be the reason.
But instead of a clip, I brought some drawings of the show.
At first, yeah.
Yeah.
Drawings are all right.
Yeah, these are some drawings like they used to do with the courts, before they could get TV cameras in there. This is, like I say, this is me answering the door.
Funny.
Walking over, this is the door.
The door opens and...
The door opens, and look, here's the reverse angle.
That's right, so you can...
There's one of the neighbors outside. Waiting to come in the door. And this is a piece of paper that fell down there while he was outside. Then this is me inside the apartment talking to another neighbor. This is a woman. Maybe you can see that.
The 1985 Carson segment gives you both sides of Carlin in one clip as he works the room with stand-up precision, then shifts into the desk conversation without losing the sharpness, showing that transition is what makes the moment useful. George explaining his comedy influences to Jon Stewart.
What we do is oratory. It's rhetoric. It's not just comedy. It's a form of rhetoric. And with rhetoric, you look and you listen for rhythms. You look for ways to sing at the same time you're talking and to go da-da-dun, 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 dun-dun, and dun, da-dun, dun, 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 da-da-dun, 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 da-da-dun. And it's just natural. My grandfather, whom I never knew, was a policeman in New York at the turn of the century, and he was an uneducated man, self-educated. And he, in the course of his adult life, he wrote out the works of Shakespeare.
Jon Stewart approaches Carlin like a comic, talking to one of the architects of his own brain, as Carlin doesn't turn the conversation into a soft tribute, which keeps it funny and alive while he talks about performance with the same sharpness. Carlin jokes with Carson and Flip Wilson.
Oh, right now. Or about 6 months ago.
One piece you have in here that kills me, and I guess there are lots of Sullivan stories. Everybody, all comedians like Sullivan, because first of all, he's a good audience, and everybody does him. But you do a bit in here. I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of it here because, as you say, it's not how well you do Sullivan. Every guy at a party does Sullivan, right?
Right. It's
you just say big shoe, and everybody says, "Oh, gee, that's wonderful." But
it's taken the place
different.
of the lampshade at parties for men. The Ed Sullivan impression. The idea being that everyone can do Ed Sullivan, even agents and managers can do him now. And I'm sure that somewhere in the world there's a bear that can do.
And a good one.
Yeah, just from being on the show and watching Ed from the wings.
Carlin and Flip Wilson together give the Carson couch a rare double comic charge as Flip brings a warmer, looser showman energy, while Carlin brings the language-driven mind that keeps bending every topic sideways, reflecting on his career with Jon Stewart.
Well, that is growing on me. I think, longevity is a wonderful thing. Sometimes you get applause just for not being dead when you say, it's true. When you say, I'm going to be 60, they applaud that. Wonderful, not dead, 60. But I'm getting a sense of it. When you're in planes 3 days a week, I go out every Friday, I come home every Monday. It's 3 different cities, 3 different nights, airports, hotel lobbies. And people are wonderful. I love individuals. I hate groups of people. I hate people who have a group of people with a common purpose. Because pretty soon they have little hats, and armbands.
Carlin's career conversation with Jon Stewart is funny because he refuses to turn success into a clean, inspirational story, talking about the work with pride, but also with the suspicion of someone who never fully trusted show business mythology. Chris Rock can't keep up with Carlin.
What happens, a lot of people say, hey, how you doing? How you been? I love that stuff. 1972, I saw you. And I go, oh, yeah, well, last 25 years, been some more. And I bring them right up. I say, you watch HBO? Did you get the book? Do that, and then we'll talk some more in the airport, But yeah, you do want people to know the accumulated record, not just a spotty little this and that.
Yeah, because people are like, Carlin, yeah?
Yeah, it depends. So there's other people that are hooked in good,
right.
Hooked in real strong, and then they'll tell you back what you did, and you say, oh, I don't remember that. Well, you did it, and I saw it.
Chris Rock interviewing George summoned a rare moment where one major comic is clearly talking to a comedy ancestor, as Rock brings the energy of someone who wants real answers, and not just soft celebrity stories, while Carlin responds with the confidence of a performer who has already survived multiple versions of American comedy. Carlin's final Johnny Carson appearance.
Certainly not a record. A lot of people are up around 200, I understand, but 105 of them. And I always did a stand-up, didn't I, Johnny? Always did a stand-up. None of that, let's sit right down and, talk about my goat's operation or something. 6 minutes per monologue, a total of 10.5 hours. Standing here or in New York in the same spot. And that's a lot of time. I could have had sex 3 or 4 times during that. But it is good to be here. And this is the first time doing the show without any pressure at all of hoping they'll invite me back.
George's final Carson appearance has a different charge because the history is already sitting there before he speaks, as he had been part of Johnny's world for decades, so the moment feels like a closing chapter without turning soft, while he doesn't suddenly become sentimental or safe just because it's the last time. George jokes with Arsenio Hall.
And the white guys, a lot of them anyway, not all of them in my neighborhood, but a lot of the Irish guys, sort of were attracted to the black street culture. Because it was easy and loose and fluid and cool and free, which is ironic, that the people who were least free in the society were the freest.
Yeah.
In important ways, with their bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, that, you're just standing on the corner. Just being on the corner was a thing like
Arsenio's show gives Carlin a louder, looser room than Carson or Letterman, and he uses that energy well as the audience reaction feels more on the spot, making Carlin's sharper lines pop in a different way while he doesn't change into a crowd-pleasing version of himself, but does ride the rhythm of the room more openly. The opening Tonight Show monologue.
The second wave, how are you? Thank you very much. Good evening, and I guess you feel all right, huh? Well, enough about you. Let's talk about me. I have no opening announcements to make tonight, and so I'll get right to the routine. I'd like to take a look at the news tonight around the world, see what's going on. First of all, the headlines. A dead polar bear has been found in a candy machine. Rapist swallows whistle.
Carlin hosting an opening on The Tonight Show changes the whole power dynamic because he's not just visiting Johnny's world, he's temporarily running it as the monologue works, because he brings his own rhythm into a format built around Carson's timing, while instead of simply copying the house style, he uses the opening to make the desk feel a little sharper and more restless. The funny part is watching Carlin control a network television institution while still sounding like the guy who questions every institution as his delivery stays relaxed, but the ideas carry that familiar Carlin pressure, while the crowd gets the rare feeling of seeing a guest comic step into the captain's chair. It belongs on the list because it isn't a generic appearance, but Carlin actively taking over the late-night machinery, showing his ability to function as both performer and host within traditional television structure. The monologue demonstrates Carlin's understanding of talk show mechanics as he hits all the expected beats while infusing them with his distinctive perspective. His opening jokes balance accessibility with edge, proving he can work within network constraints without neutering his comedy. The hosting gig reveals Carlin's versatility as he manages the show's pacing while maintaining his comedic voice throughout the broadcast. The segment works because viewers see Carlin commanding the format rather than being commanded by it, showing mastery of television's demands. His comfort behind the desk proves years of Carson appearances taught him how the machinery operates from the inside. The monologue's success demonstrates that Carlin could have been a talk show host himself if he'd wanted that career path. The performance balances respect for Carson's legacy with Carlin's need to make the material his own, creating unique Tonight Show moment. Carlin makes fun of Jay Leno.
I finally switched to Bounty paper towels.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're the quicker picker-upper, Not only are they 2-ply, but they're super absorbent.
Really?
So life is in order.
Yeah.
Feel good, personally. I had a little touch of anthrax, but that's going away.
Really? That's, yeah.
Yeah, the amoebic dysentery is all gone. So I'm in good shape. I had a chest x-ray recently, and they found a spot on my lung.
Oh.
Fortunately, it was barbecue sauce.
Oh, that's.
But I'm 66 now. That's 18 Celsius. So you have to take that.
That's.
When I go to Canada, I feel a lot younger. It's great.
Yeah.
But you can't escape the ravages of time. Don't
Yeah.
care who you are. You don't get away. I'm starting to get that vaginal dryness.
Really?
Carlin's Leno segment was funny because the room is looser and broader than Carson's old desk as Jay gives him a warmer, more casual runway, and Carlin uses that room without sanding down his edge, while the funny part is watching him fit into Leno's friendlier format while still sounding like a man who distrusts most social habits. He can be playful without becoming harmless, as the rhythm is less formal than Carson and less dry than Letterman, which lets Carlin show a slightly lighter side, while even when the conversation feels easy, his wording still has that precise little snap. The segment demonstrates Carlin's ability to adapt his comedy to different host personalities without losing what makes him distinctive, as Leno's approachable style creates different energy than the more formal Carson years. The exchange feels like two comics enjoying each other's company rather than performers promoting to interviewers, as Leno clearly respects Carlin's legacy. Carlin's comfort on Leno's couch shows his decades of talk show experience, making him equally at home across different late-night eras. The conversation moves easily between comedy philosophy and lighter moments, proving Carlin could shift tones without seeming inconsistent. Leno's laughter feels genuine rather than performative, giving the segment authentic rather than manufactured energy. The material Carlin discusses ranges from current observations to career reflections, showing his mind never stopped finding new angles on human behavior. The segment succeeds as both men understand comedy as craft, making their exchange feel like colleagues talking shop. Carlin's appearance on Leno bridges different comedy generations, showing his relevance persisted across changing television landscapes. George Carlin was living proof that the funniest comedy comes from never accepting anything at face value by spending 5 decades questioning language, exposing hypocrisy, and making audiences laugh while forcing them to think harder about everything they'd been taught to ignore. From his first Carson appearance to his final late-night performances, these moments showed that the sharpest minds in comedy don't just tell jokes, they rewire how you see the world one perfectly crafted observation at a time. Which Carlin moment made you laugh while completely changing how you think about something you'd never questioned before? Drop your answer in the comments and subscribe for more comedy that's too smart to forget.